So if we go a little bit deeper on identity work, because this is super interesting to me, and you really do have to kind of part with a version of yourself you thought you were going to be, that you grew up chasing. You had this very clear trajectory, and then when you make a separate decision, it's kind of similar to what I'm doing now too. There's no milestones that you're looking for. Like, you're really just making it up. You're not fitting into a box. You're actually finding what shape you're actually meant to go in. What does that identity work involve?
So basically, the way that I would describe it is most of us think that even I remember growing up with the beliefs of like, you can't change your who you are at your core. Like, your personality traits, who you are, you can't, change who you are. And then I thought also it's like we all were kind of just given this life, and it's like some people were lucky and some people weren't. And so the only reason that you're currently in this timeline with the people around you, with the job you have, with how much you're earning, with how you feel, is a direct correlation with your identity and your belief system. So if you want to change that, if you want to have a different reality, if you want a quantum leap, is you need to change your identity and your belief system. So the identity work is basically the biggest work that you can do is inner child work, where you go back to what are the beliefs I hold that are keeping me in my current reality. And so most people stumble because they're like, but the person I want to be, they don't know that belief system. But it's like, I kind of talk about this concept of, this is why you have expanders, which is just other people who are doing what you want to do. And that's why listening to podcasts is incredible. That's why, documentaries, books, anything like that, where you're getting a taste of that person's belief system and the identity in which they mold themselves to. We can actually morph into someone new. Like, I talk about this concept where, if you wanted to be, let's say you're someone who's like, I'm always late. And so you would identify as, I'm someone who's always late. So if that is in your subconscious, no matter if you try and be early, I guarantee you something will pop up. You'll get a flat tire. Like, things will happen. And that's because the universe is always, or like, spirit, God, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to believe in, is always reflecting back to you whatever your beliefs are. Like, our reality is just a mirror. So everything that you currently have in your reality is just reflecting to you what's inside. And that can be really hard for people to hear when their reality isn't what they want. But that's what's so cool, because it's like, oh my God, I actually have so much control. And obviously it doesn't happen overnight, but if you can just start getting curious and being like, okay, well, what current identity points are related to my reality, and then you go into, well, who do I want to be, and what are their beliefs? What are their identity points? How do they think about themselves? If you have this goal where you're like, I want to be a multi-million-dollar business owner, do you think they take themselves seriously? Do you think they show up on time? Do you think they take meetings a certain way? Do you think they prioritize their self-care? Like, all those sorts of things. Yeah, that's all it is. And it's simple, but it's not. And obviously, like, I have courses that are like 7 weeks long on this. So it's like, I can't really answer it in a podcast, but that's the gist.
Yeah, it really is like the deep work. And I've worked with a therapist, but she really opened my mind on like the neuroscience side of things. And so what you're saying from like a more spiritual point of view, when you're talking about manifesting, about the conscious and the subconscious, a really simple way she explained it to me was, imagine you're in a boat and you've got oars and you're trying to go a certain way. Are you going to go the way you want to go, or the way the current's taking you, right? So the current represents your subconscious beliefs. So if you think, I'm always a late person, and you're trying to go on time, you're gonna be fighting against where the current's going, which is actually your subconscious belief. So investigating that, going beneath the surface, it's hard because it's not conscious to you, right? It's in the subconscious, but you can do it with like a lot of deep reflection.
Yep.